What's up, ladies, gents, and everyone in between? Another episode of Shoe Booty Sports coming at you Tuesday. I guess this is technically evening, although we do have sunlight out. Anyway, I'm your host, Grandpa, on this screen. That's a very bald, fresh Bradley Brown on the other. Say what's up, Brad.
What's happening? This ain't completely fresh. It's got a couple of days of growth on it, so
Well, there's apparently eyeballs on the top of your head because you got sunglasses on indoors. So, all right, before we get
I just got through walking my dog. I bet I'll take them off.
You could have
Be
left them
cool.
on. I was just pointing it out. Anyway, before we get started, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor. Shoe Booty Sports is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, 10K, half marathon, a marathon, and the one of a kind Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience. Track it with your fitness app of choice. Screenshot your results as proof of completion. Submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your reward will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section while you're there for t shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series, and you can find us, Shoe Booty Sports, on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on X at Shoe Booty Sports. Okay, that's always a mouthful.
Yeah.
I did not go to work today. I took the day off because I had to go get a crown replaced at the dentist. Of course, it's just a temporary in right now, but they got to drill out the old one, which was fun. You know, sit there. I'm not bothered by the dentist. They
Me
pretty
neither.
much they can go full jackhammer in there with whatever they got to do, and I just sit there and just they had the TV on. I really couldn't see it because I had to wear glasses because stuff was flying everywhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny to me. I'm like, you're the pro, do your thing. Um,
Mm.
so I just sit there and chill until it's over. I did have the shot in my mouth though to numb things, and I just recently got feeling back into my this side of my mouth. So um, all I've had to eat today was a smoothie. So I'm gonna probably go make something when we get off of here. So anyway, that's been my day. Plus my
Probably a good
taxes,
idea.
like I said. So dentist and
Man,
taxes.
sounds like you've had the dream day.
Yeah, exactly how you want to take your day off from work is go to the dentist and do your taxes. I was going to run today, but don't have time. I'm going to have to just pick up on that tomorrow. Um, did have my second lab exam yesterday though, and got an 86 out of 100, so I was okay with that. The average test score for that one was a 61, so I was pretty pleased with that. High was a
It's always a good
93.
feeling.
Yeah, high was a 93. Like I said, I got an 86. Guess what the low was?
Oh, like a 17 or something.
Close, 24.
The lowest score in one of my classes on an exam in college was 17.
Yeah,
In,
somebody
in
got a
engineering class, it was bad.
somebody got a 17 on the first either lecture or lab exam. And the lowest score I've had on the lecture was, well, we've had one lecture. I got a 70 on it. And it was tough, but knocked this one out of the park. Currently have an A in the class right now, so I'm good with that. All right. I don't know if it'll last, but well, currently I'm doing all right there. But anyway, enough about me and my wonderful couple of days slash week. Let's talk about some sports. Now, when I was sitting in the dentist chair, she just started off saying, "You want to watch something on TV, news, sports, anything like that?" And I just go, "Sports." It's early in the morning. I haven't had coffee yet. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night because I knew I wasn't going to work. So naturally, I stayed up and after my lab exam and watched an episode of Chernobyl miniseries on Max. Highly recommend, by the way. Very entertaining. Stayed up too late to do that. Made it harder for me to get out of bed. So I was kind of a zombie there sitting in the dentist chair. But I was listening to whatever was on ESPN, First Take. And so the big news, basically the whole time I was sitting in that dentist chair getting worked on in between the numbing. As you know, there's that period where they gotta like, all right, we're gonna let that sit in. Then doc goes in, deals with his other patients, takes care of them. Whole time I was there throughout everything, they were talking about the game tonight, Lakers Mavs, Luka's first game against the Mavericks since against the Mavericks,
Yeah.
but first game since the trade. It's in LA. It's at 9 o'clock, I think, is the start time, I believe. So a late one. I gotta go back to work tomorrow, so I gotta get up at 4:30 a.m. So I don't know how much of the game I'll end up watching. Probably I'm not gonna watch the whole thing, but
Definitely not.
no, I'll probably watch the first half just because I know me and I know how I am. And I do have I do have a lab assignment I want to work on tonight, so I'll probably sit there and do that with the game on in the background. But I'll pay very close attention early. It's in LA, so it's not going to be as intense as maybe it would be otherwise. Like LeBron going back to Cleveland when he was with Miami,
Yeah.
but that's going to be a whole different vibe than what LeBron dealt with. I imagine Mavs fans are going to be on Luka's side, especially when he does something big. He's going to get
Yeah.
just a massive ovation anytime if he hits like two big threes like back to back, or the place is probably going to explode.
Yeah, because it's
But
not like he asked to be traded or anything. I mean, it was a surprise to him. So,
it's a surprise to everyone.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so it's definitely an interesting story. I look forward to seeing it. I'm gonna try to stop hitting my desk here, shaking the camera up. Uh, but yeah, looking forward to it. I'm not as interested as it would be, or as I would be, say, if the game were in Dallas. But I am definitely interested to see what happens. Luka's a killer. He's not necessarily he's going to show it on the court, but he's not necessarily going to show it in front of the cameras. I do want to see what happens tonight, and the Lakers are going to want to show out for him. At the same time, you got AD on the other side. Uh, I assume he's playing tonight. There hasn't been any talk about that, at least from what I saw today. Um, I don't know. What do you want to see in tonight's game other than just I just want to see what happens. There's not
I just want to
necessarily
see what happens, and I want to see AD not have some phantom injury. Uh, yeah, I just want to see a clean game. But
well, I don't know how the Lakers have done since acquiring Luka. I know they're fifth in the West, I believe, about 8 games over 500. Pretty solid. It was definitely a win for the Lakers, trade wise. Yeah, I would love to see Luka go off tonight. Again, I really want to see it when he goes to Dallas, when that happens. That's what I'm more so curious to see. But I am definitely intrigued by tonight's matchup. Um, haven't We haven't talked much NBA really since the Olympics until this trade happened, and
yeah,
like post Super Bowl, we spent a lot of time talking basketball because of that. That was the big thing. So it's definitely newsworthy. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'd love to see Luka go off tonight. Um, apart from that, I just want to see what happens.
surely he gets over 30 points, right?
I mean, has he not? Since I know his debut with the Lakers, he had 14, but I mean, Luka's usually just a walk-in 30.
Yeah,
When I went and saw him, because the the I guess it's hygienist. I don't know if it's hygienist. I guess it would be, who was helping my dentist out when he was off doing whatever with other patients. She didn't know anything. She doesn't know anything about the NBA, and she was Basically, like I don't what. Well, I don't know who this Luka is guy is, but that's all they're talking about the entire time we've been in here. And I was like, yeah, and I explained a little bit to her what I could, with my limited communication skills, being at the dentist and having something prying my jaw open, etc. But I was able to say, yeah, I saw him play in Memphis last year. He had 35. And I remember that. I remember 30. Of course, he had a triple double, but yeah, 35 points. Luca's a walking 30. Um, Over under tonight. What would you say that? Okay, let's say over under 30 points. Let's just go that. Taking the
I
over.
go up. I go over. That's more interesting. Over under be like 34.5 or something. And does he get over that 35 mark? Um, I would still go over. I think he really wants it. He's going to show what they're missing, and yeah, I think he's going to go off. And LeBron and everybody else is going to be happy to assist.
I would imagine so. I'll say I'll say over. I'll say he'll get 32. 32 points. Good night. I think the Lakers will win. I think the Lakers are a better team, and I think they'll get it done. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Other basketball news. This just popped up as I was just trying to figure out something to talk about for tonight because it's been that time of year pretty much.
Yeah.
No football and all that. Diana Taurasi, at the age of 98 years old, decided to retire from the WNBA. Of course, she's say that in jest. She's really like what 42, 43.
Maybe not 43. Yeah, probably 42.
We
But,
looked it up on this show. Of course, that was
but
several many shows ago. I'm going to look
so,
that
what
up.
was your initial reaction reading the headlines?
Uh, okay, what popped into my head when you said that, and what popped in my head was about damn time. But I don't know, because she wasn't dominant or anything in her latter years. 42 years old.
Yeah.
So now I thought when she was playing on the Olympic team, at that point it's like, I don't know that you need a spot there. I mean, do you really need veteran leadership at that point? I mean, yeah, it's good to have, but they had plenty of veterans on that Team USA. She
Yeah.
didn't contribute anything to it. That's really my only gripe about her. And I don't have a problem with her wanting to continue to play, but I don't know that you need a spot on the Olympic team at that point. Um, I also said I don't know that it matters because I figured Team USA would win by 40 in every game they played and nearly got beat by France in the final. So I don't know, but an amazing career. I'm not trying to just sit up here and poo poo all over her career. Of course, it was an incredible career. She was the best women's basketball player I ever saw before Caitlin Clark came along.
Yeah. But it wasn't what well, my point was it wasn't shock or anything. Like I was not shocked. I kind of
No,
had the
no,
same
no,
reaction you did. Like, it's about time. But
no.
I,
Uh,
I almost, I almost thought that I had imagined reading the headline a month ago. I was like, I thought she already retired, but that's just me.
and people are going to hear what I say when I about Caitlin Clark and say, "Oh, he's saying she's Caitlin Clark's already had a better career." No, that's not what I'm saying. Diana Taurasi has been in the league for 20 years or whatever it's been. Not saying Caitlin Clark has had that level of achievement yet. Just saying best basketball player, women's basketball player I've seen play with my two eyes is Caitlin Clark. That's all I'm saying. Not a knock on Diana Taurasi. Hello, Dexter. Can you hear that in the background?
Very slightly.
Okay,
If you
surprising
wouldn't have said
slight.
anything, if you wouldn't have said anything, I wouldn't have noticed.
Okay, good deal. Well, my dog has a very loud hacking cough, and he's decided to come in here and join the show. So I can hear it wonderfully. So hopefully all of you can too. Sarcasm. But yeah, Diana Taurasi retires, champion at all levels. Congrats to her on an amazing career. Good luck in whatever you do moving forward. I sounded like a complete hater when I was starting it off. But I was like, I don't mean to be. It's just 42. You're still playing, and she didn't age like LeBron. Um,
No.
Played well for a 42-year-old. I mean, no one's aged like LeBron. LeBron's an absolute freak. I did think that though earlier today too that they were talking on First Take about the potential, like what if the Lakers put together this championship run with Luka and what it does to his legacy and all that, and you would need LeBron for that to happen. And I'm thinking, how wild is it that LeBron is still playing the way that he is at 40 years old? It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
yeah,
They say, yeah,
uh,
he's our age. Way better shape than we are.
yeah. I mean, pro athlete. I mean, that's helps.
Yeah,
But
and a lot of money to invest in your body helps out a lot too. So
yes, well, he should be. I was gonna say he should be in better shape than we are. He's in the NBA. He doesn't have a, I'd say 9 to 5. His 9 to 5 is playing basketball, so he should be in better shape. But just the fact that he's been able to hold up for 20 plus years, it is incredible. Um, Load management or not, it's still
mhm.
pretty amazing. Okay, more talk. Um, okay, before we jump to what I was going to jump to, how about the Hogs getting a win at home against Missouri on Saturday night?
It was big, considering that everybody, what everybody's saying on TV is that Arkansas is one of the last four in the tournament. With the current projections out right now, of course, we were hearing that during the Auburn game, which we played pretty good against Auburn, but I mean, nobody really expected us to win that game anyways, and we made it close enough. But yeah, I was more than thrilled that we were able to pull it out against Missouri. Um, yeah, I was just glad to tune into a game and not watch us lose a close one. So it
Yeah,
was
that
pretty
too.
good.
But this team has played better. I mean, they have played better. They held their own against Auburn and even had the lead on them with 3.5 to play. I did not think Arkansas would win, and they shouldn't have won. Auburn is clearly the better team, and should have won that game. But it just shows the improvement Arkansas has had since the season began. And
It's like what we said a month ago. We've whenever you ask should we be worried about Calipari, coaching the Hogs, and we both had the same answer. No, I mean he can pretty much do no wrong this season. But no, I'm not going to worry about the team until I see how we're playing. Mid to late February. So, and I think we're playing a hell of a lot better. I know we're playing a hell of a lot better than what we were mid January. So hopefully we can keep it up and somehow squeak into the tournament. So then who knows?
yeah, if they win out, as in win out the regular season, it's going to be hard to keep them out. You win out and then you win a game in the SEC tournament, that's going to look really good. It's going to be hard to keep them out then. Uh, I mean, I would bet on them being in at that point. But Cal's right. It's not up to a committee or anything like that. They're in control of their own destiny. And I mean, the team's playing a lot better now than they were at the start of SEC play, and that's just encouraging to see. Shows the kind of coach that Cal is, and yeah, we're homers a little bit, but he's a Hall of Fame coach and national
It
champion.
makes you think. It makes you think how much better we would be if Boogie didn't have the surgery.
Yeah,
It's a double
I,
edged sword. We kind of got better. Uh,
I kind of have mixed feelings about that because you good thing about yeah, do I want Boogie Flan out there? Yes, 10,000%. But it forced other guys to step up. John L. Davis, yeah, John
yeah,
L. Davis, Nellie Davis, was really just taking up space on the court for the first part of the season. and it forced him into a bigger role, and it forced him to step his game up. It's Carter Knox has been a different player. It's been got the biggest difference to me, John L. Davis. It's forced other guys. That injury forced other guys to step up, and they're playing like the players that we thought we were getting, especially in John L. Davis, since that injury. So again, hated the injury, wished that it didn't happen, but it has forced other guys to step up, and I don't think there's been that much drop off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So shout out Hogs. They play tomorrow night at home, I believe, against Texas. The big one, the one I'm most interested in these last four games. Well, I don't know, but I'm interested in this one. I don't know if it's the most I'm interested in. Maybe the Vanderbilt playing at Vandy. That's going to be a good one. Vanderbilt, of course, beat Ole Miss, top 25 team on Saturday. That's going to be a good one. You win that game against Vandy, it's going to look really good on your resume, which is it's weird to say, but at this point, it's true. So that's one I'm most interested in. But that's the thing. This could all go away if they lose tomorrow night. So
Yeah.
well, and they're capable. I mean, they are very capable of beating Tech. They are the better team. Arkansas is better than Texas, but Arkansas is certainly capable of losing that game too. It just depends on what team shows up. If it's the team that we've seen lately, I like their chances. All right. Other news we got, which I don't know how this is necessarily popped up. I saw again another thing I saw on TV this morning talking about the NFL draft. When is the NFL draft now? Isn't it in May at this point?
Yeah, they pushed it back to May like a year or two ago.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little confused as to why I was seeing so much stuff on it today. But it was just regarding Shador, just a mock draft, typical mock draft. You had Mel Kiper on there, et cetera. I guess there's not much to talk about right now.
No.
It's ESPN struggling for content too, to a certain extent. Um, Mock draft, and the big one to me, they have Cam Ward going over Shador Sanders. You've got again mock draft, so not saying this is how it's going to go. Travis Hunter was going to the New York Giants, I believe, with the number 3 overall pick.
Yeah, I've been hearing the Giants associated with him quite a bit.
I would hate that for him. Absolutely hate that for him. What's a okay, franchise wise in the NFC East? Which franchises run worse, Giants or the Cowboys?
Oh man. You'd have to say the Cowboys, right? Because at least the Giants have more recent Super Bowls.
It's been a long time since those Super Bowls, man.
It's not. I didn't say it was a good argument. Which is
I think I
that's what
think
I would go with.
I'd go Giants are worse off.
Yeah, because at least Cowboys are going to win some games.
Well, Cowboys are at least trying. It's almost like the Giants aren't even trying at this point. It's like the Giants are closer to the Jets than they are the Giants of the Tom Coughlin years,
Yeah.
Eli Manning years. It's where you at least had a strong pass rush and you had some playmakers at receiver, a strong run game by committee usually, big
Which didn't
bruising
Eli
back.
get snubbed from the Hall of Fame vote this year?
Yes, I don't know if I'd call it a snub. I mean, would you really have Eli as a first ballot guy?
No.
Thing like I think he gets in eventually.
He will. But he he's undefeated in Super Bowls, right?
You know, and I mean, made two of the most iconic throws in the Super Bowl, the helmet catch, and then that
Oh,
throw to Manningham on the sideline and the second one they won on that
yeah.
final drive. You couldn't have walked over there and placed it there better than Eli threw it. How you play in big games matters. And yeah, I think Eli is for sure a Hall of Famer. That quarterback class is just a legendary class. Looking
Yeah,
back at
it's pretty good.
Eli, Rivers, and Roethlisberger, I mean, all three are Hall of Famers. If you were starting a team from scratch and all three of those guys are in their prime, who are you picking first? And you need a quarterback. Who would you rather have?
Oh, freaking Roethlisberger.
I
He's a
don't know.
tower of a human being, tough to bring down in the backfield, and he can throw it a freaking mile. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
It'd come down between him and Rivers.
I would say
It wouldn't be Eli. It
I
wouldn't
think
be
I'd
Eli.
go
My first
Rivers.
gut reaction was to do Rivers, but thinking about it, I don't know. I take a chance on Roethlisberger just because the
Take a chance
pure
on him.
mass, pure mass of a guy, man. Like that would be my nod with him over Rivers. And Rivers
Yeah,
ain't a small guy either, but
Rivers can. I mean, man, he could spin it at
yeah.
anywhere he went. Had the unique delivery. Um, certainly didn't affect the way he could sling it. I think if you looked at their numbers, like their career statistics, Rivers would have the better numbers than
I
of
would
the
think
three.
so. Yeah.
And he was technically the least successful, at least as far as team success or
Yeah.
winning championships. Of course, Roethlisberger and Eli, two Super Bowls apiece. But yeah, it was Eli would have some really bad games. I think the most consistent of those three would be Rivers. And like I said, ironically, he had the least success team wise and was maybe on a lot of years the better teams. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I would still go Rivers, I think, if I'm picking. It's been a while since we've had a quarterback class like that. Of course, the only one I can think of that pops out is like the year Mahomes got drafted and Deshaun Watson was in there. But of course, Deshaun has just turned into just a completely different player and not in a good way. So Mahomes
Yeah.
has really been the standout
Is
of that class, the only one.
will Watson ever play another snap in the NFL?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Probably
say no.
no.
It's done.
I mean, but what's the Browns'
Nope.
other option? What's their plan? Like
The
I
plan
think
was to put him out on the field and make him earn some of his money.
I
But
think that's what they're going to keep doing until he just can't anymore. Which he maybe he can't at this point. I don't know. Um, you need to draft another quarterback. You need another quarterback. Who plays first? Jameis or Deshaun Watson?
Jameis.
Yeah, I think Jameis solidified himself as a backup wherever he goes with his play. He would make some big time throws, and then he would make some just complete head scratcher throws.
Yeah, he would make big time throws for both teams.
Yes,
Just put it that way. Yeah.
yes.
He would keep both teams in it. But I don't know, man. I want to say I've read something like Deshaun Watson's having some kind of procedure. It might take him out at the beginning of the season next year.
Oh yeah, I think it. I think for sure
He had a
he.
setback with his Achilles, right?
Well, I think he tore. He ruptured it again. Like
I mean, I'm sure he told his masseuse to do light pressure only, and they probably didn't listen.
yeah, maybe not, but that dude. It's hard to feel sorry for someone that's been through that and has that kind of guarantee, or someone that's done that and has that kind of guaranteed money. But just the human side of me just felt bad for him, like seeing him in tears like that. It's just been a train wreck since being in Cleveland, and it's just getting worse. I don't know. I mean, if he doesn't play another snap, he still gets that money, and he's still going to be doing better than you or I financially. So hard to feel too bad for the guy, but
Oh yeah, I never said I felt bad for him. But
yeah, well, I don't know. It's hard to really, I don't know. Maybe it's easy to root against somebody like that. I don't know. It's just, I,
it's thoughtless to root against somebody like that. It's super easy. It's super easy.
I just mean like generally. I don't typically like look at a player and just say, man, I just hope they just completely crap the bed out there. I've never done that. So that's more so
I've
what
only
I'm.
did that to Deshaun Watson, I believe.
Okay. Well, it's very easy for Brad. Not saying it's difficult for me. I'm just saying I'm kind of indifferent. I don't look at the person and say, man, I hope they do poorly. Um, but either way, he's playing poorly no matter how you look at it, whether you're for or against him. It's not going well, and he may not play another snap. I don't know. But the Browns they need to come up with some kind of answer quarterback. But they haven't been able to do that.
How many times has that been said about the Cleveland Browns?
My lifetime, and I'm 40 years old. I don't know. Uh, yeah. Okay, what else is going on in the sports world?
Did you see where they might be changing up the kickoff rule again in the NFL?
I
They're
did
thinking of
not.
making touchbacks. They're thinking of pulling touchbacks out to the 25 versus the 35 versus the 25. So it went from the 20 to the 25, and now they're thinking about putting it to the 35. If you kick it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback, because their whole goal is to land it in the field of play, and that between the goal line and the 10-yard line, and then have a play.
Okay, I can kind of understand and get behind that because
Yeah,
it just became let's boot it to the back of the end zone every time.
exactly. And did you get to see any, or have you seen any of the replay, the assisted? I wouldn't say replay, but the kind of robotic strike or the robotic ump for the Major League Baseball's testing out in spring ball.
Haven't seen it. I heard that there was a protest of a call, and the player that protested it was in the right.
Yep,
So
it was
I'm
a
actually
full ball and a half high, and it was pretty quick review process. So I don't know, maybe maybe we might see it, but I don't know. I still think it's going to slow it down enough to where they're not going to go for it.
I think they're going to make the right call either way. Major League Baseball has made some pretty smart moves in the last couple of years as far as finding ways to actually evolve the game, which the Major League Baseball was so slow to do. Um, and they've kind of flipped like from the NBA as far as moves that they're making, like in a positive direction or positive way, bringing in more viewers, more interest. And the NBA has gone down here. The MLB has gone up. So they're making they're making the right calls, speeding up the game, making the bases bigger. It's all eliminating the shift so that you can have more action.
I forgot about the shift. Yeah,
Yeah, I think I don't know. I like what they're doing. I think, and you're going to have some hiccups when you make this kind of transition.
yeah,
It's not going to be smooth. It's not going to be a smooth, I say transition, but we're trying something out like this, robotic umps. It's not going to go well early, but it might get to where it's pretty spot on. I imagine
yeah.
it.
And yeah, hopefully, whenever it gets spot on, they'll just have the umpire just sitting back there for just for plays at home plate or down third base line. He's not even worried about balls and strikes. So he's just there to tell if it hit you and you know ref the plays at the plate.
Yeah, it's weird hearing the word ref when it comes to baseball. So it took me a second to process it. But
I
yes,
didn't. Yeah, to judge plays at the plate. I don't know what
officiate, whatever,
to
whatever.
rule. Yeah, you know what I meant.
I did. Um,
But yeah, I think it'd be cool to just instantly know. There's no, no more arguing balls or strikes. It's just, oh, hey, yeah, okay, cool. Computer said it was a ball, or computer said it was a strike. Let's go. So,
Yeah, and just another way to just continually speed the game up. So I'm all for it. Um, yeah, I'm here for it. Let's do it. Okay. I mean, college baseball is underway. I don't know how the Hogs have done. I saw they lost to TCU, then beat TCU. That's the extent of what I've
they beat
seen.
TCU and then they beat Texas, or no, they beat Michigan in the finale game of that tournament or whatever it was, invitational.
I did see that, and it's the same kind. It's the same teams that are still at the top. So
Yep.
really nothing new as far as college baseball goes. Uh, yeah. Anything else going on in the sports world that we clearly are super prepared to talk about? But we don't have much time left on the show, so it's kind of worked itself out there.
Yeah. No, nothing's really coming to mind. But that's not really saying anything. So,
No, it's not. Well, I guess I'll end on this. Little Rock Marathon is this weekend for my Central Arkansas people, and there's actually going to be people running from around the world at the Little Rock Marathon Sunday. I'm going to be the 5:30 pacer, or one of the two 5:30 pacers for this race.
I was
Uh,
gonna say, are you pacing or racing? It's your pacing.
Oh, I'm pacing. Yeah, 5:30 pace. So it's a pretty slow pace for me, but I get to go out there and just really enjoy it and just go be a pacer. So I'm excited to do that. And Little Rock Marathon is always a big party. I'll be at the expo Friday and Saturday morning with the pace team. So come out and see me. You can sign up even at the expo. It's going to be a little pricey or a little more expensive, but there's still time to register if you're interested. But yeah, so Little Rock Marathon Sunday. So yeah, check it out if you're interested in that kind of thing. Well, we're out of time, so we did all right filling the show up. But we'll be back next week, same time for the always. I'm Grandpa on this screen.
Brother Brown.
Deuces, y'all.
Peace.